So today we are going to discuss now operational amplifier. One important application is op-amp as inverting amplifier. So you can see in this diagram that op-amp is used as inverting amplifier. When it can be called as inverting amplifier, that is when we are connecting the V in input, that is a sinusoidal input, to the non-inverting terminal. Non-inverting terminal or the positive terminal will be grounded. Basically, what is the need of non-inverting amplifier or inverting amplifier? So non-inverting means positive and inverting means negative. So the input, whatever we are giving, if it is in positive phase, suppose I am giving plus phi sine omega t, then at the output, the input will be inverted and obtained. So this is the main aim of non-inverting amplifier. So we'll see, you can see in this diagram that we are taking the two directions. What are they? One is direction 1 from the input side, and the output side we are calling that as direction 2. So basic thing is we should know that the input or the input side, the impedance for the op-amp is very high. So because of this, the input current, basically the input current here, it is labeled as I. So the input current cannot enter into the op-amp or operational amplifier due to its high input impedance. So all the current that is coming to the input terminal of the inverting type cannot enter into the operational amplifier. Rather, because of its input impedance is blocking that, the current will find a way through which it can pass. That is the path RF. So through the feedback path, it is going to reach to the output terminal, that is V0. So this is the main point of our inverting type amplifier. Taking this as a key, we will be seeing what are the output expression. So the question will be, derive an expression for the output voltage of operational amplifier that is working in inverting mode. So you can see here what are the two inputs nodes. One is labeled as the inverting node is labeled as A, and the positive node is labeled as B. So let VA be the voltage and VB be the voltage at B. According to the concept of virtual ground, what is virtual ground? You can see that the point B is being grounded. So whatever the voltage that is appearing at VB, that means it is 0. So the 0 voltage also will be obtained at VA. That is, the voltage appearing at node A also will be 0 due to the concept called as virtual ground. So now how we can find the current? So from the direction 1, that is from the input side, we have a current I equal to V in minus VA by R1. So going to the previous page diagram, that is here, you can see what is I. We can tell that this is V in, the input voltage appearing, and the other side terminal. So in between this R1, what are the two node voltages? One is VA, the other one is V in. So V in minus VA by R1. So that only is listed here, that is I equal to V in minus VA by R1, which is equal to VA equal to 0. So we can write V in by R1. So the input side current we found as V in by R1. So now it is the time to find output side current. So looking at the diagram again in the previous page, we can see the output side, what is the current? Same, it is I only it is going, but just our seeing direction is different. We are seeing from the output side direction, that is from the V0 side. So what are the two voltages that are connected? One is V naught and the other one is A. And what is the resistance in between? It is RF. So V naught, VA and RF. So the difference of the voltage will be V naught minus VA by RF equal to I. So look at the expression that only is written. We are not interested. We are not interested in the sign. VA minus V naught by RF. So I equal to VA minus V naught by RF. What is VA? Due to the virtual ground, we can equate it to 0. So once we equate VA equal to 0, we resulted in minus V naught by RF. So what we are doing in these two equations, just we are taking the difference of the two voltages and the resistance that is connecting that two node voltages, that is V in and VA for the input side and VA minus VA and V naught for the output side. Now equating equation 1 and 2. Why we are equating equation 1 and 2? Because we know that the main characteristic, one of the important characteristic of operational amplifier is that it has very high input impedance. Due to the high input impedance to the input terminals, the current cannot reach into it, or the current cannot enter into the op amp. So whatever the input current that is started from V in source will be forced, it will be forced to go through the feedback path. Because of this, the I entering into the op amp will be nil. So due to this, we can write that the input current is nothing but that the output current. So using this concept only, we are equating equation 1 and 2. So you can see the equation 1 and 2. That is, we have equated equation 1 and 2. V in by R1 equal to V naught by RF. V in by R1 equal to V naught by RF. So if we can derive further, if we can derive further for V naught, it will be V naught equal to V in into RF by R1. Or if we want to write the output voltage, if we want to write the voltage gain, that is, what is voltage gain? Voltage gain is output voltage by input voltage. Output voltage, that to closed loop. Why we are calling this as closed loop? Because we are considering a feedback path with the resistance value R of F. So equating 1 and 2, we obtained V naught equal to minus RF by R1 into V in. Or if we want to know the closed loop gain, it will be V naught by V in equal to minus RF by R in.